I feel so blessed to be in recovery, and it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. But prior to that, I almost died. So that was a fun part of my life. But I'm so grateful that it also happened so young. It gave me the chance to start getting sober in my early 20s. That was a bit of like a merry-go-round, and I finally went away to treatment and kicked it into gear in my late 20s. But like, what a journey. And so because of that, when I came back from treatment and came back to like the real world and kind of hit the ground running again. At that point, I started falling up in my professional life. Like literally, Kerstin, I wasn't doing anything. Like I didn't get any new accreditations or take any classes, but I just started getting promoted. And why was I getting promoted? Well, my bosses were seeing me show up as a different version of myself. All of a sudden, I was a service-minded human. I was like quelling all the fires in the office. I was like Switzerland. I was the one never getting involved and rather, putting people, I was neutral and I was helping and I was a helper and I was a leader and I was just a charismatic, lovely part of the team. Whereas I used to be a tornado of death and destruction. And, I started getting these promotions and I found myself very quickly as the SVP of this big PR agency. Then concurrently at the same time, I started realizing that everything I had been looking for on the dance floor for all of those years, like, because what you're really looking for when you're a drug addict is like community acceptance, like, where do I fit in? That's really what and turn off the noise in my brain, right? So like a mix of that. I found all of that stuff I'd been looking for on the floor of Barry's boot camp and Soul Cycle. And I was like, oh, like shared rhythm and tribal, movement. And like, oh my God, it was all there. Like, I was like, oh, who knew? I didn't have to be killing myself this whole time, but okay, live and learn. So, and a lot of people come into the program and they're like, oh, I have a lot of extra time on my hands. I guess I'll like get abs, So I kind of found my way to fitness because of this recovery journey as well. So through all of that is how I started this Instagram account, which I called NYC FitFam. And that just kind of meant FitFam was like a popular hashtag at that time. It was like how, finding a foundation of friendship and community through mostly boutique fitness. That's kind of what it meant back then. And so NYC FitFam seemed like a good way in.